Well, those of us who grew up in San Francisco have certain views about what the city should look like, and sometimes we're right and sometimes we're wrong. And some of the things have gotten better and some things have not gotten better. Dee Dee Workman is here right now. She's Executive Director of San Francisco Beautiful, and she's concerned about the city itself and what it looks like, and billboards and the kinds of things maybe that aren't, well, to your liking. Is that right?
Well, some of it is and some of it's not.
You're a busy woman, undoubtedly.
Yeah, I'm a busy woman with like the world's greatest job.
Yeah. Okay. When you talk about that, you get up in the morning, go to work. What do?
Well, that's a really good question. Well, I work with a host of really wonderful people, community folks, professional people, you know, various experts and people who live here, you know, experience the city every day, to try to work to make sure that San Francisco is a livable city, that the quality of life is retained, and that we're also able to maintain the unique beauty that makes San Francisco what it is. Okay, now you named the whole groups of people, but specifically, who would you talk to? We talk to an architect, you talk to a manager of an apartment house? Oh, all of the
designers,
yeah, well, it's
advertisers?
Sure. I mean, it's a combination of things.
Yeah.
On our board, we have a board of about 25 people, and that's made up of architects, landscape architects, planners, and so on. But it also has folks, you know, community folks who are involved in, you know, working on livability issues in their community. We've got folks like that on the board too. So we go out every day, out around the city, working with people who live here and are raising their kids here and so on, to try to share our resources with them, to keep San Francisco beautiful. Okay,
you just mentioned a sore point with me. It's harder and harder for people to raise kids in San Francisco.
Yes, it is.
For a number of different reasons.
Right.
And a number of families here have split, gone away.
Right.
Middle-class families were the backbone of San Francisco for many, many years.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything that can be done about that in terms of what you do?
Well, I like to think so. I'm raising a family here, and it's a struggle for me. I work in a nonprofit. I have a teenager, and my son is 13. My husband's a school teacher, so it's not easy for us.
Does he go to public school or private school?
He goes to a private school where my husband happens to be a teacher, so that makes it
possible. That helps, yeah.
Right, but I think, you know, it's a financial consideration, but I think that we have to work really hard to make sure that essential quality of life services are available to San Francisco families, that when you leave your house in the morning and you take your child to school or to the park, or you know, you're out there with your child, that there are basic amenities that you can enjoy together, and that the city feels safe, that it's clean, that the parks are usable, that the streets aren't covered in graffiti. I mean, those kinds of really essential quality of life issues,
totally agree with you. 100%.
I think can help keep families in the city even when there is a tremendous pressure for them to leave.
Yeah, and financial pressure to a great extent.
Absolutely.
To a great extent.
Right.
But areas like, for example, Ocean Beach, where the wall is along there, it's crumbling, it's falling apart. I mean, a lot of wonderful things have happened in the other part of town.
Right.
That part of town, which is used by thousands and thousands of people, needs some work.
It
would
does.
you be involved in something like that?
We would be, sure. And the way we would be involved in that kind of a project is that we would work in partnership with the people who either live near Ocean Beach or use Ocean Beach so they feel a tremendous sense of ownership of it, who are trying to keep it clean and keep the graffiti off the seawalls and so on. Work in partnership with the city and other folks to try to maintain that area. Because nobody can do it. Nobody can work in a vacuum. These things are tremendously complex. Everything costs a lot of money. You know, a community group by itself can't do it, but in partnership with a group like ours and the city and the local government, if you work together, you can keep, for example, Ocean Beach clean and so on.
All right, Dee Dee, good to see you. Keep
nice
up
to
the
see
good
you.
Work. We're on the same page as far as this goes.
Great.
Dee Dee Workman has been our guest. She is Executive Director of San Francisco Beautiful, and she's working in that direction. Thanks, Dee.
Thanks.